So here's a real life question for you then. Katie earns £40 per week. She is to be given a 5% pay rise. How much will she earn per week after the pay rise? So as a percentage, she starts off with 100%. So this could be 100% here. And now she has a 5% pay rise or 5% increase. She's now going to end up with 105%. So how do we find this out? If we know that this is 100%, we need to multiply it by a number to make it bigger. Now it's only got a little bit bigger. The way that we work it out is to convert this into the decimal. So if we divide that by 100, that gives us the decimal 1.05. And to make the 40 just a little bit bigger, you have to multiply it by 1.05. If I did that on the calculator, it would tell me it's 42. But now we've got to read the question again and make sure that it makes sense from what we've written. Yet she's given a 5% pay rise. How much will she earn? How much will she earn? Well, she earns 42 what? You have to include the units. The answer will be £42. Okay. The example 2. The prices of all the televisions in a shop are to be increased by 8%. So they start at 100%, they end at 108%. So the new price of the television is the original cost of 150. It's now 8% bigger, so it is a bigger number. So to make 150 a little bit bigger, you start off with that as 100%, but you want to times that by the decimal. If it's got bigger, this number's got to be a bit bigger than 1. If it's 8% increase, it's 1.08. If we did that on a calculator, 150 times 1.08, it says 162. Now remember, I'm going to write 162 here. Remember the units, because it's a cost-related thing, you need to write your answer as £162. Now, this question could be written slightly differently. What about if it said that the cost after the increase was 150? Well, that would mean that 150 was 108%. If it asked then for what the original cost would have been, then it's got a little bit smaller. So what we'd have to do is then divide it by 1.08. Now that should make it a little bit smaller. So 150 divided by 1.08, it says here, it gives me as a fraction. I press the SD button to bring it to be 138.8 recurring. So the answer here would be, in pounds, 138 point. Now because it's pounds, there are 2 decimal places. If it's 8 recurring, then it would actually become 89. So that would be the original cost. Now I could check this, of course, by typing in the calculator 138.89 times by 1.08. That should be 150. And if I press the SD button to convert it, it says 150.0012. That's not exactly 150 because I had to make the slight approximation here. But that's a slightly different question, so hopefully that won't confuse you too much. Right. Okay, and the final example. Oops. In a sale, the cost of a computer is reduced by 30%. If it's reduced by 30%, what percentage are you left with? Well, if you take 100% and then you take away 30% from that, you're left with 70%. So what it's really asking for is to find 70% of 900. If it's gone down by 30%, it's become 70%. And then to find 70% of 900, you do 900 times this as a decimal. That as a decimal, if you times it by, divide it by 100, 0.7. So we times that by 0.7. Do that on a calculator now. 900 times 0.7. I don't really need to do that on a calculator because I know that 9 times 7 is 63. I might be able to spot that this is just going to be 630. Remember, of course, I'm not going to leave my answer as 630. Check that it makes sense. If the normal was 900, it's become 30% cheaper. Yeah, it looks about 30% cheaper, but that's not a price yet, so I need to write my answer as, in pounds, £630. And that would be my final answer.